Welcome back, my friends, to this episode of the Formula Podcast. I'm your friendly neighborhood host, Trevor Carlson. On the Formula, I share with you my experiences, experiments, and conversations around designing a fulfilling life. Now, welcome to part 2 of the Life Lessons Learned from Lindy Hop series, and I'm excited to share with you my interview or conversation with Anastasia Feoktistova. So she is one half of the Groovy Cats. Vlad, the other half, couldn't make it. But I had the opportunity to attend several weeks of their swing dance courses last year in Prague in the Czech Republic. I had attended social dance events before, but this was my first Lindy Hop class. And I have to tell you, they were two of the funniest people, the funniest and funnest people you'll ever see on the dance floor. And if you ever have a chance to dance with them, you won't forget it. So we discuss her experience dancing Lindy Hop, life lessons you can learn from it, and really a whole lot more. Now let's hear a quick word from our sponsors. Then let's do this thing. The first sponsor for this episode is Lady Boss. Lady Boss is a women's fitness and health company that really tries to provide as many resources as possible to help women live the healthiest lives possible. If you want to check out some of their free resources, you can head on over to theformulapodcast.com's sponsored products page and click the link there to head to their website and see what types of different free guides and workout plans, stuff like that they have available for you. Now, our second sponsor for this episode is Liquid Web. If you've listened to any of our episodes about launching your own e-commerce company or an online business, they have these like pre-made solutions for you that you can just go on over and sign up for. Now, if you check the show notes, they provided Formula Podcast listeners with a little bit of a coupon code, so you can just check out the show notes. I believe it's Formula 33. You get 33% off all Liquid Web products. So, big shout out to them for hooking us up. Now, let's get on with the show.
I'm Anastasia Feoktistova, a person of many occupations, and one of them is swing dancing. My name is Russian, actually, because I'm originally from Russian, but I reside permanently in Czech Republic, in Prague, and I'm happy to be here with Trevor for a little bit of interview.
I'm excited about it too, so actually you were one of the first people here in the Czech Republic, or locals, that I met. I think I just showed up to the weekend in Czech Republic, or I signed up randomly for Lindy Hop lessons, and I remember I had an absolute blast. You and Vlad, the other half of the Groovy Cats. I just remember you guys were so much fun to dance with and to learn from, even a dance rookie or or beginner like myself. So what got you into becoming a dance instructor, specifically a swing dance instructor?
Vlad had plenty of experience already when we started to dance together. That was the end of my second year of dancing, and that was not at the point when I could name myself an experienced dancer or a potential instructor. So I wanted to brush up my basic dance skills, move myself to another level, and also enjoy doing this, because swing dancing is all about fun, is all about expressing yourself, dancing to music which varies from 1920s to 1950s, and also there is a pretty aesthetical thing. So you learn a lot about culture, about the way people used to have fun in the past years, and it is also about communicating in a couple, exchanging emotions while dancing, while catching the same rhythm. So that was how my dance journey started, though I was fascinated 2 years before we started to practice together with Vlad. And Groovy Cats exists from the 2011 11th, I guess. And it was established because a group of people wanted to somehow organize the exchange of ideas and opinions and the way to learn from each other and to teach other people to doing this.
Sounds like you guys, you wanted to learn how to dance, and you wanted to get a group of people that also did together. So you guys kind of had some people to bounce ideas off of and practice things with, which sounds really nice. I think that's maybe why I feel like I'm still stuck at the beginner level, because whenever I go to a new place, I have like new partners and
Dancing, you are like a blind kitten. That's true. That's the real feeling you have because everything fascinates you and you feel like you have already learned something, but still there is a huge world, huge bunch of stuff to learn, and it's really hard to describe what actually happens with you, but at some point you start feeling that you are not always having fun. Sometimes it's a kind of brainstorming feeling that something doesn't work well, or you do not know how to you do not know, you simply need to gain a kind of academical approach at some points and really learn and really practice. And what actually makes me sad that some people who are really good, who have a huge potential, they quit classes because this. And what actually makes me sad that some people who are really good, who have a huge potential, they quit classes because they stop feeling comfortable. They need to go outside their comfort zone at some points, but it doesn't mean that they won't be granted for that. So you need to take those little challenges and don't think about yourself that oh, it doesn't work, so it means for me that I'm stuck at the beginner's level. There is no way for me to develop in this direction. But it's not right. It's not true. At some points, you will face an obstacle, and you just need to overcome it. Sometimes you just need to be a kind of persistent individual to pursue your skills.
I think that's kind of the case with just about anything though, where you get started and you're really excited. And I mean, I'm speaking from experience. I remember the first time I went, I had so much fun, and I was so new, and everyone was very nice, and they kind of helped me out along the ways. I don't think I knew how bad I was at that point in time or how much I had left to learn. And then taking classes with you guys helped me get to another point, and then I went to my first festival, and then I realized, oh man, I am in way over my head. But I think to your point, it's once you start feeling uncomfortable, that's when it's like, okay, now you just have to kind of keep going, maybe know that you're going to look a little ridiculous or feel ridiculous for a while.
It means that you keep on doing your right way, and you are developing. So don't quit something just because you face an obstacle. Sometimes you just need to work a little bit harder and to go outside your comfort zone. So this is just something that you can predict. This is something that will happen sooner or later, and this is fine. This is a good feeling. You just need to accept it and to work through your way.
I agree. Every time I tell anyone that I do this, we were talking about this beforehand, but every time I tell anyone that I'm like I flew to Romania, the reason I went there is because I was trying to decide where to travel to next, and I saw there was a swing dance festival, and somebody asked me why I was going to Romania. I'm like, oh, I'm going to the swing dance festival in Bucharest, and they're like, you picked a country because there is a festival? And I said yes, because it's gonna be fun. But like you said, it's there's this thing that kind of happens where you have to kind of buckle down and get academic about it. When I'm talking to all these people, telling them that I'm going to swing dance events, and I get those looks, they're kind of skeptical as to why I would invest so much time and energy into dancing. And I'm sure you probably have some thoughts on this. So why would you encourage people to pick up Lindy hop, swing dancing, or really any type of dance that they can?
First of all, if you see swing dancers, you are just wondering how natural these people are while doing their steps and dance routines. And there is not only an emotional, they're addressing the way they communicate with each other. I was always fascinated by the aesthetical component of these activities. Even long time before I started to dance myself, I didn't know the names of the dance. That was a kind of back to the future moment for me, just finding yourself somewhere where all these activities are taking place. That was my Back to the Future moment when once I found myself at the live concert in St. Petersburg in Russia. There was a pub with live concert, the rock and roll band was playing, and people, they were dancing in that old good way, um, spinning and doing something that blew my mind. That's hard to describe. A bunch of emotions I had at this point, but that was definitely what I wanted to do, and I said that I will find the way how to start doing this. And slowly, when I started to dance, I learned a lot of new things about myself. I started to think differently. I started to organize my life differently. I started to learn something new, not only about dancing, but also about the way I'm living, the way I'm dressing, the way I'm talking, and many other things. And this is actually something that I started to do because I like the aesthetical component, and I continue to do because I've learned a lot of new things about myself. This process is not finished, and this is one of the reasons why I like teaching. I didn't identify myself as a assist during the to a dance instructor during the dance classes. I realized that being an instructor is also a way for learning, and this thing is absolutely amazing, and this is why I do like teaching. I do like being a dance instructor, and I found my own voice when I'm teaching, and this is one of the reasons I'm so much in this.
Yeah, and it makes sense. It seemed, I've taken a few lessons with different instructors, and I really enjoyed your and Vlad's lessons because I felt like you brought a lot of energy to the room, and then Vlad brought kind of this this tactical approach where he was like, no, this foot goes there and that foot goes there, and so you guys make a really good team, and I'm sure that a lot of other students would say this too, that you guys do an amazing job. So you kind of laid out why you started and why some other people, like some benefits that they might get. So that might be, they learn something about themselves. They actually, for me, I feel a lot happier when maybe you've experienced this too, where, I'll go out to a dance event and then the next morning I'll wake up and I just can't help but have a smile on my face. And it's such a weird experience. I don't really get it from anything else, but I don't know. Are you familiar with the feeling that I'm talking about?
I think I am, and probably at the beginning I tried to smile, even I felt silly at some points, but right now I probably I do not really care if I look ridiculous, so what? I'm just trying to dance this dance the way I'm hearing that very song. My partner for this dance reacts to it, and I try to have a kind of conversation with my dance partner. I try to communicate more with my dance partner right now when I dance, like in a common life, like when you meet a person and you start a dialogue, and someone asks questions and another one is answering, and that's also common in in our normal life when we communicate with people, and at some points we're stuck and we're not sure if we behave right, or if we need to have if we need to demonstrate a kind of model of behavior. In dancing, it is very much the same. So if you are not sure that you are doing it properly, just don't think about it. Just try to catch the rhythm and stay connected with the one you are dancing with. Just try to and stay connected with the one you are dancing with. Just try to be your normal self. That's it. Though at some points it's hard, but this is fine. If you think that your partner is not happy at some points, you can apologize. It's also what we normally practice in our common life. So just be yourself. Don't think too much about what you are doing and if you are doing this correct. Try to be your normal self.
I feel like I've said this a bunch of times recently, but one of my friends says this really well. You are not pizza. You can't make everyone happy. So you really hit the nail on the head, because if you're kind of a goofy person and you go out on the dance floor and you try to be very serious and hit every move perfectly, you're probably not going to have that much fun. So it's just really doing what kind of fits you, right? And then yeah, thumbs up. Okay, so let's plateau. And they come up to you and Vlad and they ask, what do I do now? I feel like I'm stuck. So, and you talked about the academic stuff, but maybe you can share a story or how you worked through something on your own.
Thank you for this question. I do like sharing my rookie experience. There were some trainings, some rehearsals when they finished with my tears. I was, sometimes I really felt I am totally destroyed. But deep inside, I knew that it's not groundless. If I have a strict dance instructor and he is not satisfied with what I'm doing, it means that I need to do something with this. At least there is a kind of concord, a kind of satisfactory from the side of my dance instructor. And some muscles at some point you start feeling pain in them, and it's not a bad feeling actually. Normally we are frightened with this feeling that if something hurts, it means that you need to stop at this point. But if something hurts when you are practicing, it's not something that you need to avoid. You need to accept it. And if an individual comes to us, normally I say, you know what? I didn't have any special talent. I started to dance at the age of 20 and I didn't have any dance experience before. I had lots of failures and it didn't make me happy. But I am happy right now because I didn't stop. I didn't surrender. And I just kept on doing. And what actually helps is that when you are doing something, you keep it under control. Because sometimes people just try to copy the move without thinking its physical background, how it works from physical perspective, what actually happens. They are trying to do a step without moving their body, but it doesn't work. First, you need to move your weight. And while changing your weight position, you just put your foot on the floor and you can say that you are stepping. But if you are just touching the ground, it doesn't mean you can touch it without moving your weight. So it doesn't mean that you are doing it from physical perspective, that you are doing it properly. So sometimes you just need to take a move that doesn't work well with you and think about it. What's wrong with this? And probably ask for an advice your dance instructor, because we always encourage people to ask questions at the classes. We do love questions. It is a brainstorming activity for us as well, because it makes us to be in this process, to be focused all the time, and it probably even makes us better people.
Yeah, I could see how teaching and giving and like helping other people overcome these obstacles maybe helps you learn something about your own dancing technique. Now, you said that you went through a few years of being frustrated. You didn't wake up and you weren't able to dance the way you are now. So what kept you going?
Because I'm simply in love with this music and with the aesthetics of swing dancing and the lifestyle and history, and actually this fact that this culture happened at some point and many people were involved into it. Many other things that probably do not come to my mind at this point. I just simply find this activity so beautiful, and the opportunity to learn and stay inside this simply do not give me a right to surrender. I not give me a right to surrender. I simply need to, even if I do not have, for example, I'm tired, I cannot go and practice and learn some silly stuff. You can take a pause, you can take a break, but if you like it, just come back into it and do it slowly, probably to a slower tempo. Do not try to be in the front rows of the most talented dancers, because we all have our own tempo. But the worst myth is that you need to have special talent to dance. It's not true. It's not true. You can develop this talent. You are talented by nature, and you simply need to develop this talent. And if you are not feeling comfortable, because we are all human beings, and sometimes we cannot do something because we simply cannot. We simply need to stay within our comfort zone to some swing mode.
I like that concept of that we're naturally talented. Before I started doing swing dancing, some people that know me pretty well know I did like 2 years of salsa dancing, and I remember when I first started, it was humiliating because I couldn't actually move my feet in the way that you're supposed to stay up on the balls of your feet for the most part in salsa, and I just could not do it. So I would go to the gym and I'd be working out, and in between like doing my exercises, I'd be standing in front of a mirror doing my little like practicing my steps. But after a period of time, eventually I started getting better and better. It took probably a good 4 or 5 months of almost practicing every day, and then I wasn't terrible or I didn't feel like I was terrible anymore. If you look at like my body type, me as a person, I don't look like someone that should be able to dance salsa, but with practice, I think we can just about. So I think putting in the effort and figuring things out, and like you said, if you're getting tired or burned out, like it's not the worst thing in the world to take a day off. It should be kind of fun, and if it's not fun anymore, then do something else for the day. I don't know.
Not for long periods of time, quitting the activity all of a sudden and for the rest of the time, it's not the right way, I think. You can take a break. For example, you feel like you need to practice, you need to brush up your skills in some area, but if tonight you are not feeling well, just take a break, but only for tonight. I do encourage people believe in the fact that they are talented. Sometimes people say, I'm not talented, I have never danced. I normally say, dude, you're talking about me. I'm not talented. I have never danced anything until my 20s. Yeah, that's true. And until my 20s. Yeah, that's true. And we have our own tempo of learning. You do not have to, when you go to school, you are supposed to do your final exam at the end of the year, but it doesn't mean that you have to take the same path in dancing, because it's something different, or in any other activity. Just find a comfortable tempo for yourself and keep on moving. So this is fine. If you feel like you are a beginner for several years, be a beginner, but think about what you are doing. Proper organization of the activities means a lot. I mean, when people come to our beginners class, the first thing I want them to start doing is to keep on bouncing to the musical rhythm. Keep this pulse inside them all the time. This is the first thing. And the second thing, they start learning their basic steps. The next task for any beginner dancer is to merge this pulse, that they have inside, depending on the tempo, they do it fast or do it slower. They have this pulse in their dance core, and they merge it with their basic skills, and then they can add a kind of geometry to their basic steps. So this is the way how we simply organize the basic components of our dancing, of our swing dancing activities, but these components stay with us during the whole periods of our dancing activities, during our whole dancing life. So that is why it is very important to organize your dance components from the very start properly.
I still remember the first dance class you and you and Vlad being like bouncy, bouncy.
Bouncy, bouncy.
It's easy to remember though. I mean, it makes you you're like kind of. I mean, I laugh, but now every time I'm like warming up for Lindy Hop, and I'm like, oh, I'm like, oh, I better bounce around. Even though it's funny, it's still a good way to remember. I want to ask something about something you just did here recently, and I'm not sure if this was the first time you and Vlad did this or not, but you just returned like a month ago from Romania? Yeah, a month ago from Romania, and that was your first international.
That was not our first international workshop. We used to teach workshops in Germany, in Berlin and Munich, and we also traveled to Stockholm to teach some collegiate Czech workshops. It was not our very first international experience of teaching, but that was definitely one of the most pleasant experiences. And the dance scene in Romania, in Bucharest, is a kind of unique because people do take care of each other the way even people inside the family do. What I really liked at the social dance floor is that when even the social dancing happens in a very small room, people do free space for the other participants so they can go and dance as well. For example, there are several couples dancing during 2 songs, and after that they just free space for someone else to go and dance. Or if a new couple comes to a dance floor, some participants may leave because they feel that this is enough for them. And they do encourage people to participate in jam circles when one participant or a couple go to the center and show off, and everyone support this, and that's simply awesome. That this is something that any swing dance scene needs to develop.
That's one thing about such a wonderful time visiting them. I was really blown away by their hospitality. And speaking of the community, I've actually ran into several people from that Lindy Hop workshop or festival that I went to there. I met one couple again at a swing dance night in Bangkok, Thailand. And I feel like I met some other people again from there. But yeah, I don't know, the swing dance community is just such an amazing, I mean, Bucharest included, the Czech Republic, everywhere I've gone, I just seem to find just some of like the best people. Like just there's this very unique, and you're shaking your head because I think you know that there's just very unique mindset or just the type of person that you have to be to participate in social dance. Maybe you can talk a little bit about that.
Being a family person, it means plenty of responsibility for me, for my partner, because we are parents. Responsibility for me, for my partner, because we are parents. We have a kid and a cat. And of course, swing dancing is something we need to put to the same row with other different activities, supporting our family and earning our well-being. However, in swing dance community, we found an excellent opportunity to do what we like, and at the same time we can involve into it our little one and even the cat. There are swing dance exchanges where you go for some cultural activities like sightseeing, social dancing, and during the daytime, this is actually a perfect activity for the whole family. You can take your 10 years old kid, have an exciting learning new things, and we are pretty happy with our cat because he is an excellent traveler. So, and during the dance nights, when kids are tired, you can go and have fun and socialize and dance, meet new people, because at social dancing, everyone can ask everyone for a dance, regardless the role. If you want to follow, you just go and ask someone who is positive about leading, who is positive to doing this dance with you as a leader. Or if you want to lead, you may go and ask someone if he or she wants to follow. If you do some following, would you mind dancing with me? Because I am a leader. Yeah. So actually, at social swing dance parties, you can be a leader, you can be a follower, you can go crazy while doing your solo jazz routines. And this diversity makes this so friendly, so unique, and so very welcome for people of different origin, different cultures, different opinions, different roles. So this is just little universe for everyone who likes jazz music and swing music and rocking music as well, to share this celebration with each other.
I love that. It is a celebration though. Everyone's always smiling and having such a good time. And it's for anybody who hasn't tried it, I highly recommend you to just like jump on Google and find some like swing dancing lessons or swing night. And if you show up and you tell them that you've never done it before, I'm sure someone will take some time to show you how to do it. I feel like that we've covered so much already, and I mean, I've been asking some stuff. Really stuck right now, but I feel like I'm just this close to getting over the edge, to getting a little bit better, but maybe another month or two and I'll get there. And I really appreciate you taking the time to stop by. I know Vlad was supposed to be here as well, but I didn't really communicate that there was probably not going to be very many parking spots here, so unfortunately we only have half the Groovy Cats tonight. But yeah, is there anything else that you would like to share with the audience? Anybody that's sitting out there that maybe has never danced before and now they're thinking about it, or maybe they're going. I don't know. Maybe you just have some advice for those beginners or people that you think should maybe invest more in maybe going to their first international event.
First of all, to anyone who has never danced or have never had any experience with swing dancing, Google for some swing dance videos. Watch the people dancing, and there is plenty of information right now from old timers as well, because there are some people like Frankie Manning and Norma Miller who lived long lives, and they managed to share their experience with new generations. So you will have a really bright idea, I guess, by means of technology, what the swing dancing is. And if you are fascinated by swing music, by early jazz music, by 1950s rock and roll and rhythm and blues, this is the basic reason why you need to try swing dancing. And if you are not sure this is something you really want to do, you need at least to try to take your first class, and you will see. I think that you will discover a beautiful world if you try. It doesn't mean that you need to doing some other activities of yours. Like I have already mentioned, we are family people, we have daily jobs, some odd stuff to do, but swing dancing stays with us, and we are standing within swing dancing, though we do not have an opportunity to go social dancing every week, or sometimes we do not go social dancing for many weeks, but it doesn't matter that we are about to stop. We will keep moving our own way, searching for opportunities, searching for swing dance exchanges, and stay in touch with nice people we do like and we met by means of swing dancing.
If anybody comes to the Czech Republic and they want to take a swing dancing lesson with you, or if they want to drop in on a social night, how do they find out about you?
Yeah, guys, you can Google swing dance in Prague. There are several clubs actually in swing dance in Prague. There are several clubs actually in Prague, and we are concentrated on teaching people. So there are clubs that organize dance parties, and you can easily find the parties because we do have Google Calendar of swing events in Prague on our website, which is groovycats.cz, and everyone is very welcome to visit it.
All right, Anastasia, thank you so much for taking the time to stop by. It was really delightful, and I look forward to dancing with you guys soon. Well, folks, that is a wrap for this week's show. Big thank you and shout out to Anastasia for sitting down and chatting with me about her experience with Lindy Hop. If you are ever in Prague in the Czech Republic and you have the opportunity to take classes with the Groovy Cats, those two are amazing and you will absolutely have the best time. Now you can find them on Facebook. Just type the final part of the Lindy Hop series with Emily. I struggle so much with these different names, but I can promise you, if you can get past my mispronunciations, then you're gonna really enjoy this conversation that I had with her. So, looking forward to you stopping by for part 3 next week. Until then, have a wonderful day. Ciao, everyone. One.